now return to the Transformers.
Hello and welcome. Today we will be taking a look at Deluxe Class Legacy WILDRIDER. WILDRIDER is one of the 5 Stunticons. This one turns into part of Menassor's leg. Robot mode. Starting in robot mode, here he is. Done in a nice bluish gray. It doesn't show up super well on camera, but it does. He is done in a nice bluish gray plastic. It's really nice. Transformers doesn't typically do this sort of color very often. There's not a lot of characters that need this sort of color. His face, a little scowl, done in red. That's a fun little face sculpt. He does have light piping, although you can see the clear part right there. Although the eyes are painted over, so the light piping doesn't really come through super well. Moving down to the chest, there's some nice blue detailing there. There's silver paint apps, very beautiful. Screw holes right here are a little unsightly. You know, not a huge fan of just having 2 massive gaping holes, although it does hold the rest of the car together right there, but not great for robot mode. The legs, very plain. Some nice, detailing there. A couple ports for whatever. The front of the legs are very, very plain. The sides have some pinstriping, continuation of the car pinstriping down the arms. Same on the other side. Around the back, we have the worst part of this figure, this backpack. It's accurate-ish to the show, which is what it's based on. But I mean, it just sticks out. Triple the actual, width of the character. You see this space here is double the size of the actual arms, the width of the robot. Not great. It does get in the way of posing a little bit. Overall, though, he looks good. I like him. Not an issue with the robot himself. He does come with 2 blasters. Here is one of them. Done in black plastic with a little bit of purpley silver paint applications. Some scuff mark right there, whatever. Yeah, not bad. The other one, precisely the same. Just 2 of the same gun. Pretty cool. They are able to combine with the 5mm peg and port right there. And you could imagine that it's some weird double barrel, double scope blaster of sorts. Strange little weapon, but I mean, he's a strange little guy. So it's pretty par for the course for him. As far as articulation on him goes, I will show you. His head is on a swivel. You can do a full 360 on that head. His arms bend 90 degrees at the elbow. They're on universal joints to go out a little over 90. They could potentially do a full 360 if the backpack didn't get in the way, which it does. So he can't do a full 360. Nothing at the wrists. You can go in due to transformation, but that's it. He does have a waist rotation. You can do a full 360. Very nice. Love to see that. The legs are a little bit strange. So they can go forward all the way, go back that far, and go in and out. But with in and out comes this weird quirk, I guess. I'm not really sure. There you go. Way more than full splits. But his legs do this weird little thing. So when they're out like this, no issues. But as soon as you start trying to push it in, it pops back into place. And I'm not sure, because it makes getting him into like a natural looking A stance a little tricky, because I would want it to be about there and then it just pops back in. I'm not sure if that's just my copy, if it's something to do with the way that the hips are designed, or what. I'm not sure what the deal there is. His knees do full 90 They are ratcheted, kind of. They've got two options. You've got all the way, you got 45, and you got straight. That's it. You don't really, you can kind of maybe get in the middle somewhere, but it likes to pop back into the place. Kind of like the hips do. Not super sure why they decided to do that, but that is the way it is. Ankles have tilt, almost all the way down, pretty good. Nothing back, but they can go forward due to transformation. So that is pretty cool. Here he is in a bit of an action stance. With his guns, with the sculpting of where his hands are and where the gun barrel is, he can't really hold them super well. They don't pop out, but if this peg on the gun and the handle of the gun was any shorter, he probably wouldn't be able to hold it super well. You can kind of see how shallow that is. It doesn't go in super duper far. I'd like it maybe if it went in a little bit more, just to be safe, to make sure it doesn't pop out or anything. But as it stands, I haven't had any issue of his guns falling out of his hands or anything. Here he is in his vehicle mode. Nice standard little car. Nothing too fancy. I do really dig the bright red windows, and that red metallic stripe down the side really does some wonders. The big Decepticon insignia right here on front. Really nice work. I think this is one of, I wouldn't say one of the best, but it is really nice. It's a nice, solid car for a deluxe. You got some nice detailing on the back here, a bit of a thruster sort of thing going on, some taillights. Kind of wish the taillights might have been picked out in some red, really kind of sell it, but what can you do? The wheels are pegs, they're not pinned on there, so it doesn't roll as good as it could, but he does roll pretty well. Again, those bright red windows. They're dark enough where you can't see, the robot that's hidden inside. But they are just clear enough to sell the illusion of these cool, like evil red tinted windows. I really do dig that design. Yeah, front of the car, some nice detailing right on the front. Of course, this is the whole backpack right here, so on the bottom, no head popping out. Can't see it. He's properly disguised. He does roll, as rolling things should. Again, this table doesn't have a lot of grip to it, but, he rolls. The weapons can be stored in typical Transformers fashion, just right on top. So now he can shoot down his enemies while he's on the road. Very nice. Overall, I do think that WILDRIDER is a very solid, solid robot. He's got his quirks during the transformation. You kind of have to swing the legs. You have to stretch some of the plastic out just a little bit to get it past itself, which is a little uncomfortable to always do, especially with it being slightly older. I don't want to accidentally break it or anything. But I haven't had any issues about that, so I'm not super duper concerned about it. The backpack is the biggest drawback to this guy. Limits the arms. It's just huge, right? Like this backpack is just ginormous. But overall, his posing is good. His articulation is passable. The sculpts are really good. There's a couple of quirks, but overall, he's a good looking bot.